Lenz have recently upgraded their standard locomotive decoder. So this is one of the most popular decoders in the range as it fits a large number of OO and HO locos. It's got the 8-pin NEM652 plug on it, but you can also remove that and solder the decoder into older locomotives. So it's a 4-function decoder now, so you've still got the 3 functions on the plug, the headlights on white, tail lights on yellow, and then aux 1 on the green cable, blue's the common return. But there's also a solder pad there for a 4th function. They've also upgraded the decoder so it now carries the railcom signal and ABC braking. So it means that they've dropped the 10331 silver decoder from the range, which is quite nice because it means the standard is cheaper than it but offers the same features. The new standard decoder is numbered 10231-02 and called Standard Plus V2. So here we have an example of a typical modern chassis with the 8-pin interface on it. You'll see the manufacturer there has marked pin number 1, and there's a blanking plug in it which allows it to run on analog, so we'll just pull out the blanking plug. Pin 1 on the standard decoder is always the orange cable, so we will rotate that round so that the orange cable goes with the noted point and just plug in. Now some locos will have space for the decoder on top. This particular model has a gap down the side and the decoder fits in a box underneath. All Lenz decoders are fully NMRA DCC compliant. It's good practice to test out any decoder installation on the programming track before you give it full power. So that's what I'm just about to do. So we go into programming, we'll read the address and see if there's any problems. Sounds okay, looks okay, yep. There is a nice error reading on the Lenz decoder if you go into CV number 30. Read that. You want to be seeing a value of 0 come up on CV30, so that means that there's no faults in the decoder or in the installation. So if you get a value of 1, you've got a short on the lighting circuit. If you've got a value of 2, you've got overheating on the model. And if you've got a value of 4, you've got a short in the motor area. So it's always worth, if you get any value in the fault reading, to check out the loco and make necessary adjustments before you put it on the main track. This particular model is a good example of a loco with 3 functions, so I haven't needed to wire anything extra, it's all in the plug. So you've got lights in one direction, lights in the opposite, and you've got a high beam light that's also controllable. So on the factory setting that is switched with function 1, the other lights are switched with function 0. Now the Lenz decoder from the factory, beautifully smooth running. One of the highlights of the Lenz decoder range is the super smooth motor control. You can program in all sorts of inertia and custom speed curves if you wish as well. This Bachmann 9F is a superb example of the type of loco that we would normally see in the UK, and the Lenz standard provides it with some beautifully smooth running characteristics. Not put any inertia or anything on that, we could set it up so that it accelerates like the real thing using the inertia settings on CV3 and 4, but even on the factory settings it is beautiful runner. We bring it right down to a crawl. Right on the mechanical limits of the gearbox now and the motor. So I've got the standard decoder hooked up to a test rig, and this just to demonstrate the three functions. So with headlights you're using output A, taillights output B, and output C is function 1 there. What I'm going to do is solder in a wire to the solder pad and we'll show you the fourth function. So I've soldered brown wire to the extra solder pad, connected it to another of the lights on the rig. So we've got A, B, C, D. So A and B are on the 0 function at the moment, headlight directional, and function 1 and function 2 control C and D. So by using function mapping in CVs 33 to 47, I've now put headlights, and then function 1 I've made directional as well, so it switches over. So function mapping is fully described in the manual. It's just nice to have a play with these things.